Hey there, Trailblazers, I hope you guys are all doing well. So, I am guessing you clicked on this video because you're interested in MYDEI and want to know more about him in detail, including new info about his kit and how he functions during actual gameplay. Well, luckily for you, you've clicked on the perfect video to get this information. Because today we're going over the new early details about MYDEI's kit that we have received just a couple of hours ago from a very trusted source. And along with this, we'll also take a look at some information about his light cone and eidolons, as well as his potential team compositions and general playstyle. But before we begin, let me just give a disclaimer that everything in this video is based on very early kit information and may be subject to change at any point in time in the future. So please keep that in mind. With that out of the way, let's begin without wasting any more of your precious time. Alright, I am sure most of you guys already know about his basic character info, but for the people out there that still don't know, MYDEI is going to be an imaginary element character that follows the path of destruction. Similar to a character like Blade, he is a main damage dealer that scales entirely off his max HP instead of his attack, unlike most other units in the game, and is said to be the king of HP manipulation, as basically his entire kit is based around consuming his own HP, and by consuming it, he is able to enhance the other parts of his kit and his personal damage as well. So yeah, his playstyle is very similar to characters like Blade and Arlen, but taken to a whole another level. Alright, taking a look at his kit in detail. Let's first start with his talent, as it's the biggest and most important part of his kit, as his other abilities are a lot more basic and are mostly there to supplement his talent ability more than anything. Okay, his talent states that each time MYDEI consumes or loses HP, the lost HP is accumulated into a blood pool. And after MYDEI consumes or loses HP equal to X% of his max HP, he enters an enhanced state, which resets the blood pool and lets him immediately take action. While he is in this enhanced state, MYDEI's chance of being attacked by enemy units increases, his max HP also increases by X%, the corresponding HP he lost is restored, and his defense decreases. Furthermore, MYDEI's normal skill is replaced with a much more powerful enhanced skill. Also, in the enhanced state, the blood pool can store up to X% of his max HP, and each time the blood pool is filled, MYDEI immediately takes action, and his next enhanced skill is further enhanced. Basically, blood pool is a unique mechanic in MYDEI's kit, where all of his lost or consumed HP is stored until it reaches a certain threshold amount. And after reaching this particular threshold amount, which just means that after MYDEI loses a certain X% of HP based on his total max HP, MYDEI enters a special enhanced state similar to characters like Firefly and Jinglu. And when he enters this enhanced state, he immediately gets a 100% action advance forward and also resets his blood pool amount, which is pretty crazy. Furthermore, as soon as he enters this enhanced state, he increases his own taunt value by a large amount, which basically makes it more likely for him to be attacked by enemy units and helps him lose more of his HP, which is what his kit basically revolves around. Other than the increase in his taunt value, MYDEI's max HP is also increased when he enters this enhanced state, and all of the HP he previously lost also gets fully restored, which further increases both his survivability and personal damage. But that's not all, as while in the enhanced state, MYDEI's defense also decreases. And similar to other units that have enhanced states in their kits, his normal skill is changed into a much stronger enhanced skill. Now, while MYDEI is in his enhanced state, his blood pool can store up to a certain X% of his max HP, and just like before, whenever he consumes his own HP or loses HP to an enemy attack, all of that HP gets accumulated into the blood pool. And just like before, when the blood pool gets filled up to a certain HP amount, MYDEI immediately takes action, and his next enhanced skill is then further upgraded into an even more powerful enhanced skill, which basically means he essentially has two versions of his enhanced skill. So we're essentially getting a character who has the ability to change his already enhanced skill into an even more powerful version of it, which sounds crazy overpowered, not gonna lie. Another thing to note about MYDEI's enhanced skill is that similar to Jingliu's enhanced skill, it does not consume any skill points. And also auto selects a target very similar to how your characters automatically select enemy targets when you put your party in auto battle mode. Now, while auto-selecting targets may sound pretty bad in theory because it basically puts you at the mercy of the game's RNG mechanics, it may actually not turn out to be that big of a deal if the enhanced skill is set to prioritize the much more important elite and boss enemies, similar to how Madame Herda's interpretation stacks work, where it prioritizes an elite enemy or above. Okay, so with that we're basically done with all the buffs MYDEI gets during the enhanced state. Now, let's move over to his 3 major traces. His first trace states that while MYDEI is in the enhanced state, if he receives any kind of lethal damage, instead of being knocked down, he instead survives with 1 HP and exits the enhanced state. So, assuming there isn't any kind of limit to this revival ability, as long as MYDEI is in his enhanced state, he's essentially unkillable. Which honestly sounds kind of broken. MYDEI's trace 2 increases his crit rate based on X% of his max HP, up to a maximum certain X% amount of crit rate. This is pretty nice as it makes MYDEI much more easier to build, as you mostly need to build just HP on him rather than farming for the perfect crit rate substats. And finally, MYDEI's trace 3 states that while he is in the enhanced state, his blood pool mechanic accumulates HP at an increased rate of X% whenever MYDEI is attacked. So basically with this trace, if MYDEI gets attacked often, he'll be able to accumulate the blood pool faster, which allows him to enter his enhanced state way sooner. So that's pretty much all there is to know about MYDEI's major traces. Moving on from the traces, the rest of his kit is a bit less interesting, as most of his gameplay mechanics are included in his talent. But let's briefly go over his basic abilities anyway. Okay, starting with his basic attack. MYDEI's basic attack is pretty self-explanatory for the most part, as it just deals imaginary damage to a single target enemy. But one unique thing about it is that similar to characters like Fu Xian and Lynx, it actually scales with his max HP instead of his attack, which means it is able to do a little bit more damage than if the basic attack scaled with attack, but still not by much. His unenhanced skill is pretty normal as well, as it just states that it deals blast imaginary damage equal to X% of MYDEI's max HP to 3 enemies. The only noteworthy thing about the unenhanced skill is that whenever MYDEI uses it, it consumes a certain amount of his max HP, which allows it to accumulate in his blood pool and enter the enhanced state at a much faster rate. And lastly, his ultimate is also pretty simple, as it just deals imaginary damage equal to X% of his max HP to a single enemy and 2 adjacent targets. Although one unique thing about it is that upon using it, MYDEI restores a certain percent of his max HP, which can come in handy in healing the HP he either loses through his skill or by getting hit by enemy units. Moving over to MYDEI's signature light cone, which increases the wearer's max HP and incoming healing by X%. Furthermore, using an enhanced skill or ultimate consumes X% of the wearer's max HP and increases the damage of their attack by X%. This Lycone primarily only works with MYDEI, as besides him there is currently no other HP scaling destruction unit in the game with an enhanced skill to consistently activate the second effect of this Lycone's passive. Lastly, let's quickly go over MYDEI's Eidolons before wrapping up this video. Starting with his E1, which allows MYDEI to ignore X% of the enemy's defense when dealing damage. And when MYDEI is healed, a percent of the amount healed is added to the blood pool. E2, when he is attacked, MYDEI deals quake damage equal to X% of his max HP to enemies. This damage, however, cannot kill the enemies. E4, MYDEI's ultimate has increased healing and damage by an X%. And finally, E6, MYDEI starts the battle in the enhanced state, and each use of his enhanced skill increases his max HP by X%, stacking up to a X number of times. So that's pretty much all of the current information that we have in regards to MYDEI's kit. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to give it a like, and also don't forget to subscribe to my channel to keep yourself up to date with all the latest HSR news and information. That's it for now, so I'll see you in the next video.